All right, good morning. It is Thursday, regular stream. Dave just brought me coffee because he's an excellent human being. Thanks, baby.
Yeah, bro.
Perfection. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but there is an exceptional amount of road construction going on. Morning, Steph. Outside my house. Can you guys tell me if this is too loud? Because this is really, like, I have headphones on that are sound canceling right now just to try to balance out my own comfort. You hear nothing? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Hopefully it continues to be that way. You can hear me okay? Good morning, my Laura. The beeps? Okay, cool. Cool. We will roll with that. Dennis, good morning. I sound amazing. Thank you. I'll take it. Just need to set up my computer a little bit differently this morning. There we go. Good morning, Michael. All right, so Mike actually set me a challenge that I am both nervous and excited about, and that is to draw a map of the region that we're playing our D&D game in. So I have the sketch draft of that on my computer in front of me, and I'm going to see if I can translate it. There's a lot of landforms here that I don't normally draw, so this will be a very serious flex to my illustration muscles. And it's a much closer scale than I'm used to working in, so we will see if I get anywhere productive with it. But yeah, I think we'll see what happens. I think it'll be a great challenge. I think you're absolutely right, Laura. So yeah, to start, I guess. Weirdly nervous. And apparently I've already got ink on my fingers. How did I manage that? Good job, self. Must have touched my pen. You'll be on and off doing shopping. Thank you for getting me coffee of life. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's not like my hazelnut coffee is terrible, but that German cake coffee is where it's at. I love it so much. Nagless, oh my goodness. Good to see you. How you been? Yeah, you're not a challenging person to deal with. Oh my goodness, and Brian. Crowd's all here. How you doing, Brian? Mike, is there a name for the region of this map? Like the overall region? You're doing good, you think? That's good. You're great. I'm excited that you're great, Brian. I'm really well. Things are definitely amazing in my life right now. I can say that without reservation. I am pretty delighted. Yeah, we're almost all here. Still waiting on Pat. Hopefully Pat can join us today. It's good. It's been lots of new members, relatively few scandals lately, which I'm a fan of. I think like we're having an uptick in more things just because more people equals more problems. But I think that's to be expected for a group of 10,000 people, 10,500 people. The Fen Marshes? Okay, thank you. You've been thinking about coming back? Yeah, I mean, we'd be welcome to have you, Naglis. There's absolutely no reason for you to not come back unless you're not comfortable. Never really named it in your head past Avalon's Tale. Or the Underhill campaign, that's fair. No, this isn't a commission, Naglis. This is just for fun. Michael and I are playing a game of D&D, and Mike has decided that it would be a fun challenge for me to try to draw the region that we're playing in. And I think he's right. So we're going to see how far I get with that. And yeah, there's a lot of landforms and vegetation that I don't normally draw in this map. So it'll be a good flex of skill to see what I come up with. If I can do it. Well, I mean, in a group of 10,000 people, there's always going to be members that are going to rub you the wrong way. There's a few of them that I'm not really wild about, but if they're not breaking the rules, there's not much I can do about it. We try to be polite as admins. It's important. I don't think there's a need to be power hungry in that group. You're going to use this weekend to play catch up for Inktober? Yeah, I have like derailed my Inktober so hard. I have done 2 days and then I've had many other amazing things distracting me. So it's been delightful in my world lately, let me tell you. I am going to grab a tutorial, check those later, because I feel like I'm not getting what I want out of my lines. Maybe I want that. Maybe that's my problem. Let's change the plan here. Nagla, see, I should, because I can't guarantee that I would be the one to see it. It might be seen by Brian or John. And so if you don't have the questions filled out for the request, they'll just deny you, like categorically. It's one of our policies, because if people can't be bothered to read the questions and respond to the questions, then they also won't be bothered to like read the rules or, you know, anything else. So definitely fill those out. Yeah, and I think John might too, but just do it to be on the safe side. It'll make it easier. You release me from any expectations of accuracy. Well, I'm grateful for that, because I can't make any promises in that regard. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. This will be the canonical. The story will adjust to the fate tampering. Well, thank you. That's a lot of responsibility, even as it's wrapped up in freedom. I'm so grateful that you all cannot hear the road noise that's going on over here. It is really something. Hi, Doodle. What you doing? Hi, Pupper Doggo. Oh, I keep hitting the thing today. Clearly distracted. The camera is blurry. Well, I don't mean for the camera to be blurry. It's fine? Okay. Doodle, his name is Saxon. Doodle is one of his nicknames. I call him Doodle. I call him Goomba. I call him Bones. A great many things. Okay, awesome. Canadian Thanksgiving, yes. Dave and I are in quarantine. He just got back from Latvia again, so we're required to do 2 weeks of isolation according to Canadian military protocol, which will take us over Thanksgiving. So my original plans to like have Thanksgiving with Stephanie kind of got kiboshed. We're going to have to do it later in the month. I did, however, get a turkey because that's traditional foods and they're rare to get any other time of year except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we will be making ourselves a turkey and then packing up all of the leftovers and freezing them because that's another diehard Thanksgiving tradition. Maple flavored heresy. It is kind of the same. We do not give thanks to the Great Moose and his goose minions, although honestly, paying off the goose minions is a big deal. Goose minions are nasty, nasty creatures, and you should always pacify them as best you can. I'm grateful that I live in a place with fewer Canada geese. Regina had a lot of Canada geese, and they're just so mean. They're big and they're cruel. It's a thing. I need another smaller eraser, friends. This is not ideal. I need to be able to run into the city and do an art supply run. Yeah, goose minions are evil. You're going out to your mom's, Laura? Awesome. Awesome. Yay, art postings. Do the thing. I'm excited about that. I think like one of the things about working from home and all of that is that I don't have a sense of like holidays because every day is the same. So other than like food and choosing to spend time with friends and stuff like that when I can and not in quarantine, um, days are very much all like each other. Well, I mean, if you guys are all a nation of deplorables, I guess we can be a nation of degenerates. I think that I'm going to do blackberry brambles as the compass rose. Now, do I want to do a square compass rose or I think I do. Maybe we'll use one of the cards. That's a good size. Oh, sorry. The buffering. Curses. Curses. For banishment. Not that I'm telling you to go anywhere. That was from the bundle of spells that I put together for Amelie when Lisa and Charles were still dealing with Amelie as a threat in their campaign. I have not sorted those spell cards back into proper storage yet. I really should. But they're just so conveniently tucked under my monitor, out of my way, so it's not really a problem. They are good props, absolutely. They're also dead useful because I have a hard time with memorizing all the spells. I'm still working on that. Oh, that would be smart. I'm using a, oh, it's dusty. Pardon me. Using a pocket from library because I have a whole box of library pockets. Put that one in there too so it doesn't get lost. See, and that makes so much sense. Joy's a smart cookie. So the Marish River is very wide and doing its thing. Yep. If there was a house specifically for magpies, I'd be in that one. Pinterest does have its uses, absolutely. I love the delicacy of your line on this map, and I am not anywhere close to approaching it. And that makes me sad. Like yearbook, how do you mean? I don't think there ever was a yearbook where I went to school. Laura, there was no yearbook at St. Joe's, right? I don't remember one. But it wasn't a big thing. Yeah, I definitely don't have one. So. Wait, that might be a lie. I definitely have a black and white photo of a bunch of us playing cards at lunch. That must have come for a yearbook because otherwise it would be a color properly printed photo, not a black and white one that I cut out of something. You have the one from mine. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a very clear recollection of this. Hi, Pat. We were wondering where you were at. Good morning, good morning. You're mapping this morning, that's exciting. What are you working on? Your pirate map? Oh, diplomacy, that's a fun game. Or at least assume it's a fun game based on a video about it that I watched Matthew Colville make. He speaks very, very highly of the game. Oh, coffee, you were delicious, and now you're done. My other cup is not here. It must be downstairs. So what are you mapping for your diplomacy game, Pat? Mountains, question mark. All right, well, let's throw some mountains on this end here. Scale. What scale am I doing my mountains at? Let's have a look. Nope. Add this. Here we go. Nice. That sounds exciting. Hex maps are definitely their own thing. Where is my scale bar? Google Maps, don't fail me now. Come on. There we go. 1 kilometer. Zooming out. 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers to what? What are you? Little tick on the screen. Not quite 2 centimeters. Those are some big mountains. We are real close up. So they're going to read more like hills. Okay.
I don't know what Dave is listening to downstairs, but is it ever loud? I have noise-canceling headphones on and I can still hear it. This is what happens when artillery destroys your hearing, friends. I think they're talking about Nate Vanderzee's Discord, is my guess. Our Discord is quiet.
it's something that I have not been devoting any time or attention to. I've been more focused on the streams and moderating the map building group because that's where my attention has needed to be when I'm not otherwise engaged. Two tiny islands and you need a nap. That's not going to help you get finished. Forever, hey? Oof, I don't envy you. Why are you bouncing? Just close, thank you. You're back. Welcome back. Tomorrow you'll be gone until Sunday. Your brothers are dragging you into a weekend of ghost chasing. That sounds like fun. Like famous ghost tours kind of thing? Or do they know like haunted houses that they want to go check out? Tell me more about this. I am curious. Nice. Medieval board games, hey? I don't know of any, but I'm sure they exist. Gettysburg is super haunted. Oh my goodness. $60,000 people in 3 days just seems like a tremendous waste of life. Oh, war. You used to live just down the road from it, Mike? Yeah, no kidding, right? Of course it would be haunted. That makes sense. Watch a lot of Supernatural. I tried watching Supernatural. I got through like 5 episodes before I realized their magic system was not internally consistent, and that was making me really, really annoyed. So maybe I should give it another try. I know a lot of people love it. So that's a thing. Salt. So much salt. Take salt with you, Pat. We don't want you coming home with any hitchhikers. Seasons 1 to 5 and then just stop. Yeah, the first season was, I don't know, it wasn't grabbing me. And like Joanne, who's sometimes on the stream, is super into it. It's one of her favorite shows. And normally we share a lot of media overlap. So I was like, well, sure, I'll give it a try, but it wasn't working for me. Monster of the week. Gary, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming to hang out. But the inconsistent magic can be credited to writing strikes completely, writing room creative turnover, and storytelling escalations that painted characters in uncomfortable corners. That makes sense to me. I mean, presumably, anytime there's inconsistent writing, there's a reason for it, right? Especially when you're doing something that's serialized, that's not written from start to finish to follow all of the arc. Like I've heard Battlestar Galactica was written that way, and Babylon 5. So if you're kind of making it up as you go, you're not going to necessarily know what needs to be consistent or carried forward or whatever. And if you don't have time to like create the canon comprehensively, that can be a problem. It's kind of like I felt it was really a gamble for them to start making the Harry Potter movies before the books were done. Same thing with Game of Thrones, although I'm far less invested in Game of Thrones. You don't know what's relevant until everything's finished, right? Next Generation season 1. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Was it you who was telling me about the season 2 writing? How when Gene Roddenberry finally died, they were able to kind of get things sorted out. I can't remember who I was having that conversation with. Yeah, was you? Okay. Yeah, Game of Thrones past season 4, I heard was a hot mess. I've seen a couple of the episodes from the final season because Charles was living with us for that month during exercise, and he was watching it. But like, I hadn't seen any of the rest of the show, so it was just kind of like I'm confused and a little bit lost. But that was fine. I didn't need to be lost to watch a military man go, "That is not how tactics work." That made a lot of sense to me. Bye, Naglis. Good luck with your studying. Jean refused to have internal conflicts because human behavior had evolved past that. I don't think it's possible for humans to be humans and have evolved past internal conflicts. Don't think that happens. Yeah, I hear you. I read the first 3 books, Brian. Um, and the first book was the first book I've ever thrown across the room. There was just no one to cheer for. And I need my escapist fiction to have somebody I can root for. So that wasn't really for me. But I do think he didn't do himself or his fandom any favors by allowing the production before he knew where the ending was going. Yeah, Ned. I think like it's just a marker of how I prefer my epic fantasy. I want a hero, even if they're not a super likable hero. Like Kaladin in the Stormlight Archive, I kind of find a little bit of a whiny schmuck, at least in um, the first book. I understand that they're trying to like set up his psychological profile and that he's dealing with depression and stuff like that, but he's kind of got woe is me white boy syndrome. And after reading so many like exemplary white boy saviors, I'm kind of like, come on, give me something new. Um, so that was a little bit tedious, but I really love the style of the book and the world building and stuff like that. So it was definitely worth pursuing my way through um, to enjoy that. And he gets better, in my opinion, as he starts to like regain his agency and self-determine again. Which I mean is the point. It's absolutely 100% the point. The Thomas Covenant books. I'm not familiar with those, Mike. He's awful. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. Like Arthur Conan Doyle, I have so many copies of the Sherlock Holmes stories. And Sherlock is like the whitest of white boy saviors. But I have a soft spot for him. Absolutely. And he's insufferable. Like, honestly, Sherlock Holmes is one of the most difficult characters to get along with that was ever written, in my opinion, who's supposed to be somewhat likable and redeemable. I have a lot of feelings for like the patience of John Watson. Um, John makes the ultimate sidekick, in my opinion. Long suffering. Yeah, John Watson is absolutely the real hero. 100%. 100%. Not an easy read. Hey, Gary. Can you guys tell me more about it? What makes it not an easy read? That's fair, Brian. I just finished watching Enola Holmes on Netflix, and that that was good. That was a really fun addition to the Sherlock Holmes canon. Yeah, Mrs. Oh, Hudson. Hudson is the landlady. Well, that's a way to start things off. Feel like that's an escalation that doesn't help anything. especially as a place to start. It's just shock value for shock value most of the time. Yeah, and I love how they brought home or brought forward that John is really the hero in the Benedict Cumberbatch version. I agree. By the main character, I would put the book down. I would be like, no, thank you, I'm done. We watched a YouTube show, something to do with Legal Eagle or something. It's a YouTube channel where a real lawyer reacts to various pieces of fiction and lays out all of the crimes that were committed in the fiction and what the likely sentencing would be. And the one that we watched yesterday was Indiana Jones, the first movie. And he highlights in there that it's very likely that Indy had an affair with Marion when she was 15 and points to a bunch of different evidence for that, including like tweets by the writers and the producers. And so that like was really uncomfortable for me, especially that it was just like, oh, great. Um, that is not something that I wanted to think about this character. Like, I don't think that's a responsible thing to be advocating in a movie that was made when it was made. And I just, ugh, it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. Not that I find the character of Indiana Jones super sympathetic to begin with, but it's just like, did we have to? Like, you could have made her older. There's absolutely nothing wrong with like avoiding this whole trope. So Legal. Yeah, I haven't seen too many of the shows. I would like to see more because I think they're just really interesting. I don't have a lot of anything in terms of experience with it, though. A lot of Harrison Ford's characters are super cringe. Yeah, and I don't know, man. Like, I think that's part of the problem for me with coming to Star Wars so late in my life, too, is it's just like, ugh. Blade Runner. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some cringy moments in there. I've only seen it once, but I remember going, all right. Isn't it fascinating that who you are as a person and how you change over time really reveals to you things that were there previously? Um, Lisa and Charles and I recently watched the movie Sucker Punch, and it is a really interesting film. It's one of those things that it's visually just incredible. They did an amazing job with that cinematics of that film. Um, and it's like a surrealist fever dream in a lot of ways. But it's my life experience, Lisa's life experience, Charles's life experience lead us to radically different interpretations of the film. And we were debriefing about it afterwards and kind of comparing notes and impressions and stuff like that. Charles and I had both seen it before. Lisa had been her first time seeing it. And it was really fascinating to just have that conversation about where the three of us were coming from and what we picked out of the film as important and stuff. I love those kinds of things. David, hi. How are you? Thanks for popping on. At home with the kids? All of the kids. Yay. We're just talking about movies and representation in films and how some of it has not aged as much as we would like it um, to do the thing. Virtual school is tough. Yeah, for sure. That's a lot to ride herd on. Yeah, you're not wrong about the whiteness and the male presence. We were talking about um, the character of Sherlock Holmes just a little while ago, and how John Watson really is the hero because Sherlock, as much as he's interesting, um, is kind of insufferable. So you're trying out voice activation, like talking to your phone and seeing if it'll type. I hope that works. That might be a nice solution for you being able to work while we're on the stream. Yay! Hooray, it works. That is the first step to Skynet. You're not wrong, Dennis. I imagine it would. If you have a smartphone, you can try it. There's a microphone on your keyboard if you've got it enabled. I think one of the failures that I have with my mapping is that my mountains are very isometric, but my lakes are not. And I feel like that's jarring. I need a different way of doing that. Yeah, no, the drug use is really particularly interesting. I think for me also, knowing more about mental illness, especially like within my family and stuff like that, drug use is frequently a self-medicating behavior. Um, so if you're, and I do think Sherlock is probably diagnosable. I won't get into the analysis of that because I'm not an expert and can only hypothesize based on my own personal experiences. But I saw a lot of his drug use behavior as self medicating for certain states of mania or depression. And I thought that that was very interesting, especially because that's what treatment would have been back in the day, either legally administered or illegally administered. It would have been probably some kind of opioid or whatever. So that's fascinating to me. It interrupts the sound. Okay, well, six of one, half a dozen of the other, as you say. I have a pillow on my couch downstairs that is a picture of Hal's glowing red lens that says, "I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that." Charles got it for me for my birthday one year as a way of trolling Dave, my husband, because he thought it was hilarious. And it is hilarious. I've been told that I'm not allowed to say that to him until I've read the book. So sometimes I just show him the pillow and be like, it's kind of comical. Laudanum, heroin, and morphine. Oh my. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I hear you about the amoeba shapes. What's the Rama series? Rama. The Space Odyssey books. I'm not a huge sci-fi person. I really need to expand on that though. Like there's so many books that everybody's like, these are pivotal, you need to read them. I'm like, yes, but they involve space. You know what? Don't know how I want to do this. I'm going to draw blackberries for a while. Blackberries I can draw. Let's do that. Give me a reference. Your reference is good. It's an Arthur C. Clarke series. You got to go, Brian? Okay. Thanks for hanging out. It was really nice to see you. You have a good rest of your day, too. The space baby is weird enough. Okay. Take your word for it. Yeah, Pat. I mean, come on. You've had so many other projects on the go that you almost need a rotating schedule of things that you can do. Where is this picture? This is the one I want. You're the one that I want. Do, do, do. So my grandparents have been married for 59 years today, which is amazing. I'm really hoping that COVID lets us gather next year to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary because I think that will be amazing. And that means that 9 years ago today is the anniversary of the day that I asked my ex-husband for a divorce. And that is an anniversary that I celebrate every year because it was one of the best life decisions I've ever made. So thank you for coming to hang out with me on the stream on a day that's important to me. Brahma is good, but Lamb and Ding Dong is a lackluster sequel. That's fair. Yeah, right, Gary? Isn't that awesome? Happy anniversary to me. I'm excited about it. Need more space in here. Don't get you started about unfinished products. Projects. Projects is the word, not products. It took a great many years to go from asking for it to actually achieving it, but it was worth the effort. 100%. A little giddy, are you? That's good. They're shaking my house. Yes, sometimes I do. One of my pencils, I think it's my 5H, I've cracked the paint on the end of the pencil off, so it actually has lead exposed. So if I flip it and scrub it, I definitely end up with far more lead on my paper. It's part of the reason why like I try to keep my eraser in my field of vision when I'm working, because it's like, use that. Don't use anything else. Use that. Ticonderoga. I do not know what that word is. Scholastic for me is a book fair. Is it a book fair for you? Like it's a publisher. It was like the most magical thing that ever came to my school. Scholastic book fairs were the best. Saved up all of my pocket money for them. Yeah, they did always show up at parent-teacher interviews. You're completely right. I don't think I'd ever put that together before. A pencil manufacturer. Ah, I follow. I should send you a couple of my Blackwing pencils. I really like them. They're gorgeous. They're very, very supple to draw with. And they're made of red cedar, so when you sharpen them, they smell incredible. That's like a bizarre little stationary treat. Yeah, Scholastic Book Fairs are where it's at. For sure. Ah, yes, yes. I follow you now. That should have been evident. Sorry. Brain is only running on 2 cups of coffee this morning. Although I say that like I don't normally drink more than that. I don't. 2 is my normal. It's true. It's true. Body's running just fine. Body is very happy. Brain is just a little on the soggy side this morning. Squishy skull things. Sounds like the kind of day I'm expecting to have. Full of squishy skull things. What am I looking at? I don't know how to interpret that. So, when in doubt, broad shapes. That is like really up and out of the way. Oh well, I'm okay with that. Make like an eardrum. Stretch. I guess that's something I should check. Mike, is the bottom of the map south? Is the bottom of the map south? Like if I'm drawing my compass rose, is the bottom where I want it to be? Or is the bottom east or west or north? I'm lost. All right, my ducks, that is our hour-and-a-half mark. I think I am going to sign off. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. I really appreciated. Bottom is south? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Really appreciated having your company while I worked on this today. I will live stream again tomorrow. I'm not sure if it'll be a world building stream or a drawing stream at this point, but I will decide in the morning. So thank you for coming to hang out. It was really nice to have you. Okay, classic Western orientation. Perfect. Perfect. So hope you have a good rest of your days, and good luck with all of your projects and the work that you're working on. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. That is our idiom. You are right. All right, I'm going to sign off. You guys take care. Bye.